look at yourself back then where you're having these labels put on you, you're having these experiences. Did you ever experience any doubt in saying that I don't know if I can become the woman that I want to be?
I have doubt all the time. I have self-doubt constantly. I'm a business owner. I mean, the self-doubt is very real. And anybody who has self-doubt and thinks they're alone, I mean, that is, you're not alone. We're all experiencing it. And a lot of it stems from things that were said to me as a child, and what I've done and I'm still actively working on is identifying those times as, is this really a warning sign to slow down and reevaluate? Or is this something that is from my past that's no longer serving me? And being more aware of that. But those doubts are always there. I think the way that I've minimized them in my life is, again, really getting better at my what is my passion? What is my path? What are my values? And constantly checking myself on that. Am I doing what's right for me? Is this feeling right for me? Getting rid of all the noise, focusing on how does this feel in my heart, in my gut. And that's been really helpful in minimizing some of that doubt. But oh man, that doubt still creeps in. It gets a little worrisome. Even now, I'm like looking at the nonprofit going, whoa, I'm in deep. Oh man, it's constant.
I know, I guess you're at the point where you can't turn back even if you wanted to, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, but there's times where I'm like, is this gonna work? Like, is it gonna be okay? And then you just kind of go, Lindsay, stop it. That's not serving you. Yes, it's gonna work, and then push through. But those little things, that self-doubt is something I'm working on constantly to get better.
When you're going when you're assisting all ages, right? Because you mentioned you have all ages worldwide. When you're doing your tutoring, you mentioned you have all ages. Um, is it difficult? Because I'm putting myself in the shoes of the person I'll come to at my age. Do you find it that the adults are sometimes hesitant to say, Lindsay, can you help me with this? Like, is there some type of hesitation where they might feel that, you know what, I'm of a certain age, I should know this, but I still need that help? Do you encounter anything like that?
There is, especially if I've seen it a lot with math, adults with math, and they've had to, or writing. Either they, in their words, were never good at it or are rusty at it, and they do feel really insecure about that. I've had a couple situations where I've had adults come to me and say, I can't read, and we've had to teach them to read. Um, that's where a lot of the relationship building comes in from day one, of showing them that not only do we believe they can do it, but also that they're not their struggles. Um, Struggle doesn't define who they are, and struggle is also something we embrace because it's the only way forward. And so to build that resiliency, we have to kind of identify, where are you struggling, but you're not locked in that. Let's use this as a way to pave our way forward and to grow from it. So there's strategies I've taught my tutors to do, ways to model vulnerability, ways to help them learn self-awareness, emotional self-regulation, even with adults. But a lot of it just comes down to that relationship building, that trust building of, I am not judging you. I've had my own struggles. We're all in this, in some way or form. This is something I'm good at, and I would like to help you as best as I can. But there's also things I'm sure you're good at that, you can help me with. And I also see that with parents. I have a lot of parents who are very capable, smart people, but their kids are like, I don't want your help. And they're like frustrated because, they're educators maybe, or they're engineers or something. And they're like, why am I having to hire someone to do this? I could do it. Um, but it's, again, this is why I would be out of a job if that wasn't the case. It doesn't mean you're a bad parent. It doesn't mean you're not smart. This is kind of just your child exploring their independence and finding their own, limits. And it's just kind of how it is. So yeah, everyone has a little bit of like, I don't want to say embarrassment, but kind of like, oh, I'm not good at this, or I'm not able to do this. That, when you're coming to someone asking for help, but we always come from a place where vulnerability is good. Asking for help is good. There's nothing wrong with it.